Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Going On Daily Live Morning Show. Yay! The
Woohoo!
Saturday edition. As you've grown accustomed to, I'm Ira, and I have the privilege of being with my friends, Lena Williams and JP Marsh. Woo!
No, we're still drinking our coffee and still waking up here.
Yeah.
As cheerleadery as it's gonna get.
You guys are on the East Coast too.
Oh yeah. So we've already been.
What
up
time is it in Montana right now?
It's 8 a.m.
8 a.m. And you woke up for this, so guys, he's giving it all for us, right?
Yeah. I agree.
There we go. Well, we got a good show for you today. Well, I mean, you'll be the judge of it, but we think it's a good show. We've got some.
We
good
always
topics.
think it's good though, because it is.
Yeah.
'Cause it is.
See? And 3 out of 3 of us agree, so we've got it right. If you want to help us out, and I know you do, you're going to be wanting to know all of our social medias, where to go, what to do, when to do it. So I'm going to help you out here. Okay, if you want to watch us live, and chances are you already are, but you want to tell people how to do it, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Rumble, you can go to Kick, and that is, as you can see on the screen, at Rhode Island Broadcasting. If you want to go to Twitch and watch us, you can go to RI_broadcasting. And if you don't want to watch our lovely faces and just want to listen to us, take us on the go, you can go to Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, or iHeartRadio, and those are at RI Broadcasting. You can follow our socials. We're on TikTok. We're on MeWe. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Parler. We're on LinkedIn, for God's sakes. We are everywhere. We're taking over the globe. And if you want to do that, it's, again, at RI Broadcasting. Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Broadcasting RI. See, threw you a little curveball there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different. Now, at Facebook, our show page for Going On Daily Live Morning Show. You go to Facebook and it's at Going On Daily Morning Show. And 2 more. I swear I'm almost done. Please subscribe to our Patreon. That's Patreon at RI Broadcasting. And that's where you can buy merch, which really helps the show. You get the logo for the Going On Daily Live Morning Show. Put it on pens, mugs, magnets, whatever you want. You're going to get it. And people will go, ooh, I know that show. Where can I get that merch? Well, Patreon at RI Broadcasting. And if you didn't listen to a word I said, you can just go to our website, which is RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. So I did all that and then told you, there's one place where you can go to find that all.
It's good to call it all out though, because some people have this platform or that platform, and they're like, "Oh,
And some people,
it's the power
like,
of
I didn't even know all of these existed until we started doing the show. So you may want to join, like Blue Sky or Parler or one of them, just to see what it's all about.
Well, us Gen X or Boomer people, we're just about lucky we can get a phone to work.
Sometimes.
So that's all newfangled.
I think that whenever I can't get something to work, I think that all the time. I'm like, why can't I get this? Is it because I'm a Gen Xer? I can't get it done?
I feel bad because when we were young, all our stuff, we had the older generation screaming and yelling at stuff we were doing. And we're like, what are you talking about? This is easy. What's the problem? So now we're those people.
It's no big deal to make the Nintendo work for your parents.
Oh. Yeah, that was simple. Come here. Let me show you how to work the VCR. Here.
I was the one, and I still ain't. Well, not anymore like I was, but I was the one who got called to set up everybody's stuff. Everybody's stuff. So this cable, that cable. Can you get all this to work? I can. I plug this in where? You look at it, you're like, what is this? Like, this doesn't even belong in here. Yeah. But now we're those people. We're going to be those people.
I worry about it, but yeah, it's going to happen. It always happens.
I try not to worry about it, but it's inevitable.
Yeah. And now people are watching going, me too. By the way, you can comment on the show and we'll read some of your comments
Yes.
as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
Today is Saturday, September 13th. Here's what we want you to know. Lena, please lead off.
Okay, so here's what I want you to know. For those people who are into like oceanography and science and stuff, we have new discoveries, right? So in 2025, there's all these little things that scientists and oceanographers and people in the environment are out there finding, right? We think we knew everything, but then, so they've discovered scientists have discovered 3 new species of deep sea snailfish in the Pacific Ocean, and I should give credit to Oceanographic for the article. But they're off the coast of California, thanks to underwater technology developed by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. And these findings were published in, okay, here we go with some words that I hope I can pronounce because my coffee has to kick in. So it's ichthyology and herpetology, right?
Ooh.
Describe species collected from depths of over 13,000 feet at Station M and from Monterey Canyon. Yes, and so the host is jumping ahead of me. Yes, well, he's explaining why his pictures look like. Okay. Yes, no, that's okay. That's all right. We're ahead. We were ahead of you this morning. It's probably Ira's fault for jumping ahead of you with all the screenshots that I'm getting the restitution for that now. So snailfish are soft-bodied, large-headed fish, often with a belly that helps them cling to surfaces or other animals, or a little disc in their belly that does that. Over 400 species are already known, including the world's deepest dwelling fish. And researchers they use microscopy, CT scans, and DNA sequencing to confirm that they were previously unknown species. And 2 were nearly identical externally, but were distinguished through genetic analysis to be a little different. The discovery highlights vast biodiversity of the deep sea and the importance of taxonomy for understanding and conserving marine life. And that's important because we live or die by how healthy marine life is, and so it's good that we've gone down there and studying that. So that's one thing we found out. Then we've got other species that were discovered in 2025, including in the marine life, as is what I should say, such as the Advana magnifica sponge, which is a new octoral species in the Maldives, a guitar shark, Ron.
A guitar shark?
A guitar shark. And the Baphomus vidi as giant sea bug, which is found in seafood markets, along with the land-dwelling. And yes, I don't know. I hope they're not going home with your food, but anyway, along with the land-dwelling, baby-carrying Scorpiops. Oh God, Dwyfuca scorpion. Okay, and then on land, there's a woolly devil plant and an ancient human species from Ethiopia that were also identified alongside a new genus of fossilized dinosaur. This is my coffee. Sorry. It's like we wake up and then we start talking. But those are some of the things that we have discovered in 2025. And if anybody has any interest in that kind of stuff, like, oh, cool. Like, to me, as far as I'm concerned, the ocean is like never ending. There's never, ever going to be like stuff we don't know. It's just too much going on down there for us to ever get it. But it's so cool when we find something. So.
It's too huge an area. I mean,
I know,
the world is 2/3 water. We can't get down into like the Marianas Trench and the bottom of the ocean. And so
it's like space.
We have no idea.
Some people are into space. Some people are into the deep sea, and I think they're kind of the same thing in a way. In which case, there's way too much to explore, and we'll never know anything or everything. About either one of those spaces, right? But we learn what we can.
I like how it humbles us. And I wish more people would take the humbleness of it. That it tells us how much we don't even know about where we live, and that we don't know it all, and that we should have empathy and understanding and see everything from every point of view, because we really don't know as much as everybody thinks that we do.
We are not the main characters here.
We're not. I mean, they're finding animals all over the place that they thought were extinct. There's a ton of the world that has never even been touched by man.
When stuff comes back around that we thought we lost. That's a dog, and that's not extinct at all. But
I had to look because I thought I got confused. I was like, "How is my dog on the camera right now?"
The Rottweiler. Yeah, he's out there. He's got to go look at the neighbors. But my question is, and now I'm throwing off my. I understand that we're worrying about making sure that the Earth, we're dealing with global warming and things like that, and want to make sure that the Earth is viable. But do you notice how like our destruction is what we think that is the main thing that's going to happen? Whereas like, if you ever listen to George Carlin, he's kind of like, yeah, people are in trouble.
Right.
The world will be fine. We're the ones in trouble.
It's going to shake us off one day and start over.
Put ourselves up there as like the be all and know it all of whatever's going on. Like we have main character syndrome. A lot of us, I really think we do.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, you see it in movies, you see it in TV, the way that they are. I mean, even in the fantasy kind of superhero movies, when the Marvel characters run into these people that are traveling through galaxies and know that there's other life on other planets and stuff like that, like the characters that are from the Earth still think that they're smarter and in charge because that's what we're taught. You know what I mean? Like, even if aliens did come here, we would still think that we were superior, even knowing they can travel through galaxies and we barely can get out of our atmosphere.
my new whatever, it's been like this for years, but I'm going to really focus on it. This in 2026 is going to be like to keep my circle around me of people humble and modest. Those are the people that I vibe with the best. And so I'm going to seek those people out because I just think, I think we should all stop and think about where we are in a chain of things.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes people do. With the week we just had, I think some people don't do that.
And by the way, sorry.
No, Ron's over here in the comments just naming off all kinds of stuff, but I don't want to forget about it. He's saying a new species of funnel web spider named Big Boy, a Mount Lyell shrew, Darwin frog. So he's just kind of black sea devil anglerfish. These must be things he was prepared for me to say that I didn't get into. But that's it. These are some of the things.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of interspecies hanky-panky going on, and, boom, there you go. You have a brand new species. Because, procreation is what animals do.
Do you know what I love about this? I know a lot of people hate the internet right now in social media, but what I do love about it is like these cameras that they put out in the wild, or these drones that they put out in the wild. And they're seeing like just animals doing things that we just didn't think they did because we thought we was too smart to know better. And now we've got cameras out there where we don't have to have people behind the cameras, and we're just sort of seeing animals in their natural habitat. And it's kind of cool to see. Oh, the packs of this animal do this. Oh, we didn't know that. Like, that's something that we just had no idea about because we were always present to study it, or we studied it in some kind of. We brought it to some kind of like closed-in environment. And it did something different because it wasn't in its natural habitat that we thought just went on everywhere. Anyway, that's kind of cool to me.
Well, they sort of had that happen with the wolves when they reintroduced them in, Montana and stuff like that. They didn't think that they would migrate very far. Yeah. And then they had those collars on them that know where they are, and they're moving, way bigger area than they ever thought they would.
That's so cool. I love it. I mean, we can get into the wolves and what we thought the wolves did and what we found out they didn't. All of that stuff is cool. I love science because it continues to change.
If you allow, if you can open your mind enough, and that's kind of the humbleness that you were talking about. I mean, people in the scientific community kind of get stuck having to reinforce their own ideas, and they'll kind of disregard everything else that is going to combat what they're. You know what I mean? Nobody's willing to, have open conversations and debate, obviously.
Right. I mean, I think the scientists, to me, that are the best are the ones that are like studying things in the current time and saying, okay, this is what we know, but that doesn't mean we think, this is not the end of the research. And a lot of them will, they understand that the story's not finished as far as what they're looking at. And then we can bring that around to people. I mean, people aren't as even to study ourselves. We don't think we think we know everything about ourselves, and we really don't. So,
well, as we grow and evolve, I mean, everything, and just think in 50 years, what they'll be able to discover and then look back and everything we thought we knew.
Right.
We
so
didn't
what
know.
we live in now, and it's the stupidest thing ever, but I watch Sex and the City. This is a dumb thing, but this is me and my brain as I'm getting ready to do things in the morning. And, they came back and they did that second show, which is like, they tried to do the Sex and the City crew at 50, whatever. And I was a big fan of them when I watched it, but I'm laughing because everybody's like, what were they thinking? And why did they do that? And they just ruined everything. I'm like, in 20 years, they're going to pull this show back out and they're going to go, we slept on this. We slept on this. It's just, if you know how people are, it's just how they are about everything. So I was laughing this morning and I'm like, as much as, once everybody's dead and gone, like the Golden Girls, right? They're going to pull that show back out and be like,
oh my God,
look at this show. And look at it, really dealt with some really good stuff. And so I think everything is an evolving, it having nothing to do with entertainment, of course. Everything is an evolving thing. And to think that we know everything and there's nothing more to learn is a dangerous place to be. And that's my theme for today. Take it away, whoever's next.
Well, we're not even moving on yet.
Okay.
Didn't they just have, and I didn't know this was going to come up.
Okay.
But some sort of conference about where they discussed every UFO situation that they've had, where actual pilots and everyone was now allowed to talk in a forum. And they showed videos.
Area 51 thing and all that. Yeah. It's an ongoing conversation. Now, I don't know if it's because of our skepticism for it. Probably one of the only people that I sent it, you may or may not like him, and that's okay. I don't really care. I sometimes don't either. But the only person who I see who really follows this and does it in any kind of sort of mainstream way is Chris Cuomo. He's the only one I know that will bring experts on and say, hey, there was this conference we all talked about, he tries to keep it sort of visible, but it's been going on for 5 years, where they've been talking about, okay, now there's all these government secrets that we weren't allowed to know, and these people are, I don't know if there's a statute of limitations or something where they're allowed to open
I think things get declassified, and
you know what I mean. We're learning a lot of stuff about anything going on in the 50s and 60s that was a big secret.
Oh wow.
We're now learning about, and there's definitely, I have friends that are really into this outer space stuff. And somebody did say to me one time, which I thought, God, this is we were watching a sci-fi movie or something, and they turned to me and said, what if a lot of our religious books that we were growing up and we read and all that stuff, what if people back then just didn't know how to describe space stuff? And so
they were, I've seen a deal where they were talking about everybody talking about dragons and it being a correlation to a jet engine.
Right.
Because if you were a primitive person, how would you distinguish something that could fly through the air like that and breathe fire?
So how would somebody
pretty good actually,
1400s, if they, and don't get me wrong, there may have been in those days, there may have been primitive stuff in space as well. So we don't know what we were dealing with back then. But the stuff that is written in religious books about miracles and things coming out of nowhere and all that kind of stuff that you would think is magic, or you were raised to think is magic, right? From whatever church you belong to. What if, right?
Magic is just technology that's indistinguishable from what you can comprehend at that moment in time.
It is. Yeah. So what if those people did not know how to describe what they were seeing, or they didn't know what to compare it to, or they explained it in a certain way that we looked at it one way, but really it was that stuff.
Well, that's just it. I mean, take a look at the letters. It's UFO, unidentified flying object. That doesn't mean it's an alien. It just means we don't know what it is yet. But when we figure it out,
Xeno.
It's no longer a UFO.
Xeno, right? So anything that we don't know or we don't understand is foreign to us is Xeno. Is an indistinguishable what have you. So what we call it is, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Ron's comments today. But
it may not be from another world.
Right.
If you open your mind to other dimensions, other frequencies, the multiverse kind of theory, that sort of stuff. If something goes fast enough and breaks through, what we can and can't see, and it blinks in and blinks out because it vibrates at the right frequency, to get into our plane or to where our eyes can even pick it up. They may be there all the time.
Right.
And so, I mean, it may not even be from across the galaxy. It may be from just another space
a lot of stuff
that we share.
A lot of stuff comes from old comic books, doesn't it? Like, we don't, I mean, somebody had to put a story out there, right? That they knew, boy, and here we go with me and my marketing theories about everything. But somebody might have said, hey, there's a bunch of people that don't know about this. And if I write a story about this with pictures, I'll sell this thing, this topic, this whatever. And so those comic books from the 50s, you know, that people got with like a specific visual of like what they thought science was or what they thought outer space was or whatever. Who knows? Like, we're looking for little green men. How do we know? Actually, you know, there's so many things something could be that, but it's so hard to get out of your brain, like all of that visual stuff that you're raised looking at.
But it's always better to be curious and open to the ideas of all these different things that we don't know about, as opposed to, that's not possible. You're dumb for thinking that, you know?
Right.
I agree. Well, they have things like, let's say, the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot and all the things that we're looking at.
I know,
but while we don't have those to look at necessarily, we do know where we can go to see nature at its finest. And JP, you're going to do a report on one of my favorite places, Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, sticking with sort of my themes of the stuff that most people in the country don't get to see that us in Montana have access to sort of on an unlimited scale, which is, you know, Yellowstone National Park is a crazy place. And I mean, you talk about, you know, I don't know, maybe Bigfoot's roaming around in there. I mean, who knows? But it is. So it's the world's first national park, established in 1872. Yellowstone is considered the first national park in the world. It has a super volcano. The park sits on top of a massive volcano caldera. The Yellowstone supervolcano has erupted 3 times in the last 2.1 million years. It's the geyser capital of the world. Yellowstone has over 500 geysers, more than half of all of the geysers on Earth. The most famous is Old Faithful, obviously, which erupts around every 90 minutes. It has colorful hot springs. The Grand Prismatic Spring is the largest hot spring in the U.S. and 3rd largest in the world, and its rainbow colors come from heat-loving microorganisms. Wildlife Wonderland, it's one of the best places in the U.S. to see large wildlife. Yellowstone is home to grizzly bears, wolves, moose, bald eagles, and the largest herd of free-ranging bison in the country. It's an earthquake hotspot. The park experiences 1,000 to 3,000 earthquakes each year, though most are too small to feel.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
It's a massive size. Yellowstone covers about 3,472 square miles, larger than Rhode Island and Delaware combined. Multiple states. While most of the park is in Wyoming, parts extend into Montana and Idaho. Historic lodges. Old Faithful Inn, built in 1904, is one of the largest log structures in the world and National Historic Landmark. And then fascinating rivers, lakes. Yellowstone is one of the largest high elevation. Yellowstone Lake is one of the highest elevation lakes in North America, sits above the active supervolcano. And so it's big. I mean, it's big. It's protected. It was the first one. Tons of animals. You're not going to see it. You're not going to travel the whole park in a day or a week, probably, if it's, 3,500 square miles. But it's untouched. It's there's roads that go through it, and you can drive through it even if you're not really meaning to go through the park. But it's what the whole country used to look like still.
True. Absolutely. That's on my bucket list. That's one of the places I have to go. My daughter and I talk about it all the time. It seems like a place where, like you said, this is what it used to be. Mm-hmm. And the animals roam free. They are taken care of. The people are it's sort of a reverse zoo. and that is we are coming in and they are watching us. We're not allowed to hurt them. And what bothers me is how many attacks you see. How many people who think, I just have to have a picture with this bison. I'm going to get close to this bear cub.
Any shop that you go to pretty much anywhere in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, stuff like that, and buy t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that, you're going to see things that say, don't touch the fluffy cows or don't pet the fluffy cows, because they roam on grass and stuff, but you're still talking about a massive wild animal that's going to fling you 40 feet in the air. And they have started really cracking down on some of the tourists that are doing these things like that. Like, obviously if you get slung by a bison, you're learned your lesson. But there was a story I read last year with some tourists. They had seen a couple bear cubs and the mom wasn't there or something. And so they had grabbed loaded them up in their car and took them to the Forest Service office. And those two people went to jail because now those bear cubs that were wild have to go to a refuge because their mom's not taking them back and nothing's going to teach them how to survive. Right. And so look, but don't touch is sort of the thing they're trying to really get through people's minds.
They're stupid. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I have absolutely. I can't. I really think some people are there's stupid. A bear cub. I'm going to put it in my car.
Mm-hmm. Right, like these are abandoned bear cubs within a park. I need to do something about this. Like nobody's what I can't. Don't even get me started on people.
You could call the Forest Service or the park rangers or whoever and tell them where that you saw the bear cubs, and they can go and determine what's going on. But look, don't touch.
Some people really think that they should they just need to step in, and I can't stand it. All right. Anyway,
it's not just that. I believe that I've heard stories before of, you're not supposed to get within a certain area of the geysers. They're hot springs. They will do damage to your skin. And yet people ignore those too.
Why can't we, I think personally we should have a rule that says if you get in the way, then we're not gonna like rush in and help you.
Right.
I just really think that should be a rule where if people are dumb enough to read signs and then not pay attention to them, then nobody should save them.
FAFO.
The sort of difference is, I grew up in Oregon, and Mount Hood's a big, snow track, hiking, mountain, whether it's summer, winter, that kind of stuff. And there was, a handful of ones that would go missing up there every year because it's a big area. And they get lost or turned around, or they weren't experienced enough to be doing the hikes and that sort of elements or whatever the case may be. And so Oregon had gotten really tired, and the taxpayers got really tired of paying these huge bills for search and rescue and all these, all this stuff. And so then they had made it to where you have to go to the Forest Service and get a beacon to go hiking up there. And if you don't, you're liable for all costs to come find you.
Like people sign stuff or whatever it is, just to like make it be like, hey,
if you want to attempt it with no beacon, like if we have to send helicopters, you're paying for it. And if we have to send search and rescue, you're paying for it, not the Oregon taxpayers who don't necessarily want you here spending. They don't want to pay to find you. They don't know who you are. You're up there doing something you're not experienced enough to be doing. But the national park is a federal, it's national park. So the states, it's not state taxpayer money that are doing the hospital bills and doing all these things because they're on federal, in a national park. And so I'm not really sure if they're ever going to. But you think people, you get those people that are going to ruin it for everybody else because at some point they're going to say, we're going to start fencing off all this stuff.
That's it.
Like the pyramids in Egypt, like you can only be within 1,000 yards. You're not getting any closer. Or,
you saw that idiot that ran up one of them. There's a video of that.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody, I don't know where he's from. He was from Europe, I believe, but he was doing some kind of weird, like, YouTuber thing.
Right.
And he just like, I don't, nobody's going to tell me what to do. And he goes running up the side of it. It's just like, I just can't with people. I really can't.
Now, in Yellowstone, I mean, it's been like that for a long time, but like you said, it's got to be the most famous national park there is.
Right.
So people go there in droves. Once that happens, people really think it's okay to bathe in the geyser.
Right.
They're stupid. There are people who believe they can touch lava.
That's my buddy Will. Yes, Will. You know what I mean? Stupid.
And I mean,
there are. But I was wondering, is there more building going on? Because the more people are there, the more they want. Oh, we need a fancy hotel. We need this type of restaurant.
Good.
We need
they need to drive away and go somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, if you want to go to certain parts of the park, Glacier is the same way. To get the pass to get in, I mean, you're looking at a 6-month wait time. It's not a deal where you're going to be able to pull in there and get the pass to go into certain parts of the park. You know where these big tourist spots are, because they only allow a certain amount of people at any given time. And so to get your park pass, you're having to go on there and sort of reserve your spot for when you're going to plan on being there in both places. That way they can somewhat kind of control how many people are there at once. Because if you don't, I mean, at any given time, there's probably 24 tour bus size tour deals full of, there's a big Asian population that goes around the U.S. and does these things. So obviously they're on all the TV shows, and they're typically the ones you see getting flown by the bison and that kind of stuff. But I mean, you're talking about, at any given time, there's 500 of them people getting off these buses every single day in the park. And so to keep control of how many people are in certain spots at certain times and all that stuff. But the random roads that, go from Idaho to Montana that go through the park and this and that. Right. I mean, you can kind of go anywhere you want as long as you're on the roads, but that may not be where the animal populations are necessarily going to be. You may see some animals, you may not see some animals. You're not going to see the geysers because you're away from the lodge and all that stuff.
Yeah. Will's on his comedy game today, man. Exactly. I mean, hey, I was thinking "Flung by Bison" sounds like an album. Sounds like a band name, or it sounds like an autobiography. "Flung by Bison," a requiem, or something like that. Anyway,
I am surprised that we don't hear more stories about people getting hurt by animals because they were stupid enough to, hey, it's a mountain lion, I'm gonna go pet it.
I see a lot of videos. I do. I see a lot of reels of stuff going on. But even not necessarily just Yellowstone, but a lot of parks where people just have 2-year-old toddlers walking up to bison. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, you watch the video and you're just like, oh my god, like
most predators. I mean, for the most part, unless you catch, the predatory animals, the wolves, the mountain lions, the bears, unless you just randomly see them roaming from point A to point B, they'll see you, but you're never going to see them.
Right.
And so the likelihood that you'll ever kind of, it's less likely that you're going to run into some of those or get into situations with some of those.
Yeah, you'd have
now, if you come across a bear den and the bear thinks that you're going to do something to her cubs, then obviously you're in a bad spot. And same thing with the mountain lion that maybe just killed an elk and thinks you're going to try to take its food or something like that. But, the roaming bison, they don't run. I mean, it's just a big herd that's walking around kind of like cows. And the deer and the elk, I mean, they'll kind of just hang out, but certain times of the year, I mean, they're going to be erratic. If it's mating season, the bulls and the bucks are going to be super amped up. And catching one of them horns to your rib cage or your back or your leg.
Shank, baby.
I mean, they're sharp.
I've had a couple of bucks come out at me around here because we have deer all over the place up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's like whatever the big region is in Rhode Island, like where there's like one buck that sort of circles in a big area, and there's like a couple of families of deer that they protect, service, whatever they're doing. And once or twice we've had, just on a hike in the woods locally, we just had a buck walk out of nowhere. And it's like, ooh, okay, let's just get to the car, because if for some reason they decide they don't want you to be there, you're gonna end up you know.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. If you see a large buck, you're not supposed to stand there and take out your camera and take a picture?
Try to hang air pressure on its horns or something. I mean, and elk are probably 3 times the size of a deer.
Yeah.
I mean, if a semi hits an elk, it's stopping the semi dead in its tracks.
Yep.
And then you got a moose, which are way more dangerous than both because they'll chase you down the road. I mean, they're not friendly at all.
Wow. I mean, but
other than the animals, you did mention one thing that I'm concerned about because they mention it all the time. The super volcano.
Right.
So if that thing were ever to really erupt, how much land are we taking out here?
As far as I know, I think it's a world ender. I think if it erupts, if you're like 500 square miles, you're going to be, sort of vaporized instantly. The next couple thousand miles is going to be, massive earthquakes in the zone, that kind of stuff. You're probably maybe surviving, probably not. And then the plume cloud is going to fill up the entire atmosphere and there won't be any sunlight for as many years until that goes away. Like that's sort of I think that's what I've always heard about it. But I mean, you're talking, if that thing goes, it's going to send San Andreas Fault into a frenzy probably because it's going to have that much of a vibration to start separating all that stuff. And it's just going to be it'd be a nightmare for everybody. I mean, it would reset human existence probably, just like some of the other resets, like from what I've heard.
That's amazing, and yet people are still like, "Hey, we got to go to Yellowstone."
Well, I think
that's part of nature.
I think it's pretty much if you're in North America, the U.S. and Canada, maybe Newfoundland and Maine, maybe that little bit, in Florida, but I think for the most part, you're not really going to survive because it's going to hit everything and probably throw the ocean so far back that everything else is going to start tidal waving in. And so even if you're out of, sort of the lava, the earthquake, the heat of the volcano itself, the, nature impact of it within, a week is going to start wiping everything else out because it's going to throw everything out of sync. From what I hear, I haven't really looked into it that much.
Balance like the ecosystem is right now, like even with everything that's happened, like how precarious everything really is. Right.
It is. But I mean, you would recommend people going there, and it's a once in a lifetime experience, right?
It is. I mean, especially to see something, that you wouldn't necessarily get to see. I mean, if you live in the Everglades, I mean, it would be like me going to the Everglades. I think it'd be wild to see. I think it'd be really cool. I'm not a big fan of snakes, so probably not going to really, not on my bucket list. You know what I mean? But
meanwhile,
if you live somewhere that's a concrete jungle, a San Francisco type place, Texas, the New England areas, the New Yorks and the Bostons and some of those places where you don't get to see trees and mountains and nature and that kind of stuff. I mean, I know that there's still a lot of Maine that's, the East Coast is definitely a fall bucket list that I would like to experience with the colors and the trees, and it's different kinds of trees and all of these old buildings, the churches and the churches and all of that stuff. I mean, that's something that's a completely opposite of the world that I'm from. Right. Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, some of these old cathedrals, old buildings,
I worked in Newport on Sundays in the summer, and rode by the White Horse Tavern every single week.
Yeah.
And it's the oldest restaurant in the country.
Yeah.
And it's still
going to Philadelphia and seeing some of the, going through some of the museums and the Bell and all of these different things. I mean, but if you want to reset your energy, your presence, and see what nature really is like, I mean, Yellowstone's probably your best place to do that, or, the one in California. But I don't really know much about Yosemite or how well kept it is and that kind of stuff. But I know that Glacier National Park and Yellowstone are kind of anomalies, especially Glacier, because it's a glacier that moves around.
Which are melting. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, melting, and then, I mean, they move. Yeah. So.
Yes.
And then you have all the hot springs, you have all the stuff, you got the bison, you got the bears, you got the elk, you got all the animals and the trees that are huge. I mean, it's not the redwoods in Northern California by any means, but you get to go experience what a forest is like and sit in a hot spring that's, just a pool with a bunch of rocks. I mean, they're not man-made.
I'd like to do that, and that sounds like something that would make people very happy. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to move on to another story that I have about just the little things in life that do make us happy. Now, we all know that there are things, I planned on doing this, and it took me months and years to accomplish. Those are wonderful things. But there are these tiny little things in life that just will make you happy, and it's just an instant. And they put out a survey of 2,000 people, and they just asked them, what are your top joys in life? And what's really interesting to me is, number one, and you guys were enjoying it just a few minutes ago, a fresh brewed cup of coffee is number one. Wow. And I started thinking about it, and it's not just the beverage itself, it's the smell awakens you.
It's a whole sensory thing. Yeah.
It's a whole experience. Yeah.
Yep.
And then how many times do you say, we should go out, let's go out, get a cup of coffee together?
Yeah. I do it all the time.
There are coffee dates. They keep friends together. So is that, according to these people, this is like the number one thing. Would you agree that in your life, tiny things, that a cup of coffee can be number one?
So, yeah, I try to leave myself a lot of room to like de-stress or not be stressed, or because stress is health-wise, stress is bad. So I try to really sit in the moment a lot of time. Like I think having a dog, and we all do, like you kind of get that. Dogs are really good about, hey, this stupid stick is so great. Like, they'll just get excited about something that most of us have to stop and go, oh, wow, like there's fresh cut grass today, and like that smells awesome. Let me just go sit, and after like somebody, you get your lawn mowed, and you just sit there and you're just like, wow, that's so cool. Or just like I have a stove in my house. I'm all excited because it's like stove season. Where I'm gonna get my pellet stove up and running. I got it serviced, and so I can't wait to sit in front of that. Little things like that are just life. That's, to me, those are things you gotta try to catch, right?
I agree, and you were right, because on that list, one of the little things that people mention is cuddling with your pet. And I know when I have a bad day, I can come home and my dog Tennessee is just sitting there like wagging her tail. Hey, you're home. This is a good part of the day.
It's nice to have something that's happy to see you when you get home. I mean, it's a shot of dopamine, or the feel good chemical in your brain, serotonin, and I've been practicing mindfulness for like the last 8-10 years, and so being in the moment, we'll have to get into that. Being in the moment all the time, and being great, having gratitude, but being aware, and not getting distracted by thoughts and feelings and emotions and all of these things that are going to make it more stressful moment to moment. Yes. But I would say the thing that always made me the happiest, and it was a very small thing, but when I would go to pick my daughter up, I mean, she doesn't do it as much anymore because now she's 10, 11 years old, but when you get off work and you go pick her up at daycare, or you're picking her up from mom, or you're picking her up from grandma, or anywhere, and she sees you and she comes sprinting at you at 3-4 years old and yells daddy and has her arms wide open and jumps into your arms, like that was probably the smallest thing that made me the happiest, because then the rest of my day was good.
I have actually
hashtag on that, Ron. Girl dance.
Yeah, I should. I actually have mentioned that to my daughter. I was lucky enough 90% of the time it was me dropping her off at school and picking her up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. It's just those 2-3 seconds when they spot you. And even if they're having a bad day, you get that smile. And I thank my daughter for, like, you've given me 1 hour. If you put all those seconds together, 1 hour of pure joy in my life that, that has got to be on my list. Let me go down the list very quickly, see if you agree. Waking up after a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like that. I don't know where I am waking up. That's amazing. That's the best.
Catching up with an old friend or a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You like that one? I like that one.
Yep.
This one, I don't get the same thing, but watching your favorite TV show, I don't know. I think we put that off now because it's not like when it used to be where if you didn't see it, you would miss it. Now, you can just...
Now it's all streaming.
Still, I mean, we're ODing on the dopamine of it now because we can binge.
Right.
But I happen to be a creature comfort person, and so I have specific shows I watch. I literally train my brain at night because it'll race and I won't sleep. And so I have like comfort shows that I know front to back, like without even thinking about it. I know how they're going to end. I know the dialogue. I could recite them. But just there's something comfortable about certain things that you grew up with or whatever that you got into that do produce chemicals in your brain, to turn them back on. So I don't know. I kind of do agree with that in a way.
Okay.
I don't watch TV, but audiobooks. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Mm-hmm. But there's some that I put on and they soothe me and then put me to sleep. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then how about this one? You're driving along and your favorite song comes on the radio. Now, most of us aren't listening to the radio nowadays. You can just program in your favorite 90s. Song.
Right. Yeah. But my whole... I have like a couple of folders that I have a little hard drive that I stick in because you got the USB ports now, right? So, and I'll have a couple of folders that are like just something that will shuffle while I'm driving. That just, you know what I mean. So, and I think we've talked about music before, but I mean, there's certain music that does something where you're just like, man, listen to that. Like, you gotta roll it back. I cannot believe how great that sounds.
Especially when you haven't heard it in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I've even forgotten that song exists, and boom, you get that.
Yep.
Okay, you ever open up a door and the smell of fresh baked goods? You got cookies or you got cake or whatever.
Like a shop or your house? It doesn't matter, I guess.
Either. No.
Yeah.
It's just
like a bakery.
You walk into a mall, they have that smell.
Yeah, a bakery is a very cool place to walk into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an interesting one. Having someone tell you they were thinking about you or giving you a compliment.
You know how I'm going to say what I'm going to say. That's horrific. I can't stand it. It's not my thing. But I do know that most people love it. I do. So I'm aware of it, but I don't like it. Yeah.
I have actually become more aware of trying to give people compliments, mostly strangers. I will walk up if I saw there was a woman. I got off my train. There was a woman coming toward me. She was just waiting, and I had never seen like a vibrant color dress she was wearing, and it was amazing. And I just walked up and told her, "That's amazing. I love that color. You look great." And she smiled, got a big smile. Like, thank you very much. And I just went on my way. I just thought I made someone's day, and just telling her,
Well, if people
smiling back at me made my day.
If people would compliment without like agenda, it would be nice.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's too much of that has not happened, so most people are suspicious.
You get a bigger effect from witnessing acts of kindness than partaking in the act of kindness.
Yes.
So like when you watch the bikers stop and help the old lady cross the street, the person watching that actually gets more out of it than the bikers or the old lady.
See? So you should go out there and you should help people.
It's a pay it forward.
Not only you're helping that person, you're helping everybody who's watching feel good about themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, the sun shining on your face. Just
Yep.
You ever get that warm feeling? I'm imagining out in Montana where there's less, buildings
Right.
keeping the sun away from you. That it must be amazing.
Yeah, it is, and there's very little humidity here, and so it's just sunshine all the time.
I'm telling you, JP needs to work for the Montana Board of Tourism.
Yeah. I wonder what that's like. No humidity. Like this morning, I rolled around. It's 51 degrees today, and I rolled over, and I'm like, "What's the humidity?" It's like 91. I'm like, oh, eat that. Even at 50 degrees, it's gross.
Yeah.
We're all wet.
It is. It's just I can't stand it. So.
Well, we're going to go the opposite, which can also be very good. Listening to the rain while you're inside.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I like watching the snow here. Yeah, I like the rainstorms.
I like all of it.
As long as you're inside.
I don't know. I'm going out hiking in the rain and snow, and we just get it. Like one of those deals where you've got like trees like a microburst or something like that, where you literally have to worry about like being killed. Right. But if it's just a regular rain, like my dog and I, we go out in the rain and we go out at night. We hike at night a lot. I just love it. It's just peaceful, and it's the snow at night. To go hiking in the snow at night is amazing. I can't even describe it to you. It's amazing. You got to do it. You know.
I will tell you, being in the undisturbed snow, where you're the only one making the footprints.
Yes.
You and your dog.
That's it.
That is amazing thing.
And at night, nobody, I know nobody else is out there. That's really why I like to go, because I know nobody's going to be there. We could just wander around until we get tired and then go home.
Yeah.
And that's the best. That's the best.
See, getting a good night or a good morning text from a loved one. And I would say,
I'm out.
Yeah, I knew Lena was going to say no right away. But JP, if you got that from your daughter, first thing in the morning, no, for no reason, just good morning, love you. Does that make your day?
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be cool for family. I get it.
See, if your sister sent you a good morning text for no reason, it would help you.
The for no reason is a big thing. That's got to be that. It can't be like I'm getting roped into 10 hours of conversation if I respond. But yeah, that's nice.
Good morning, I love you. Well, I love you too. Could you help me move tomorrow?
Yeah. Can you take me to the airport?
There's the agenda. Yeah. Here's one. Okay, JP, you said that you listen to audiobooks. Okay, so it says here, buying a new book. 18% think that's the best thing. Now, I know a friend who buys books at thrift stores, and he gets a high off of finding a new one.
It's just like when we used to go record collecting. If you could find something that's really good, and you get it for a really good deal, and you own it, there's something about that. Like, same thing with books. Yeah.
I miss record stores now.
I mean, we have them. We still have them.
Yeah, you gotta
years ago,
find
it
them,
used to be like we had to get them. And so
Yes.
we'd get up in the morning with our coffees as all us DJs, and we'd hit the record stores at 8 in the morning and just try to find treasure for 2 hours. That was great.
Okay, now the next two, and they're very low percent, and I don't know, maybe you guys can explain this to me. Introducing a loved one to a favorite food or drink. Now, I've been part of, you have to try this. But honestly, I don't care if you like it or not.
Yeah, I don't get that either. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
unless,
they don't have to like
unless I made it,
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I mean, you put in some work, try this.
Right.
Again, that would be like a compliment thing, I guess. Like, oh, you made this? This is delicious. That would make you feel good.
I don't like surprises, so I would never spring anything on someone else that they didn't see coming. So if somebody was eating something that I ate, it would become like because they knew I was cooking it, that they wanted to come and eat it. And how they felt about it would be different, but like I would never like just throw a meal at somebody that they didn't see or expect and then be like, do you like this? I think that's torture. But if you make it and they know you're making it and there's like a whole thing, they come over and that kind of thing. That's cool, right?
I think there has to be, Lena, you have to have a group of friends out there.
I do.
One day somebody said, we should throw her a surprise birthday party, and everybody went, no, you don't know her. No.
They know better than that. No, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I just don't take it. I don't take it well. And so most have done it once, and that's it. I've never done it again. Yeah. But
the last one on the list, and I think this is ridiculous, but hey, finding the perfect meme to send to a friend.
Oh no, that's
I think we're out of that age group.
Yeah.
No.
I do a lot of memes. So yeah, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah. If I know that they're gonna laugh, I'll laugh beforehand and then send it, and then I'll laugh after they laugh.
It's a neurodivergent thing. It depends.
Yeah.
It has to be the person on the other end that is hoping to get that. You know, like it's a two-way thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, my friends and I just have literal threads going. My sister and I have one where we just send each other Instagram memes or Instagram videos, and then like we both react to them, and then we go on with our day. Like that's the whole conversation. But that's the thing.
I'm in some groups that are just memes and people sharing memes and going back and forth, and there's thousands of people in the groups, and it's as long as you come across the memes that are your humor or your that you laugh at. I mean, some of them are extreme and some of them don't make sense, and but the ones that make you laugh, and then you're like, oh yeah. So then you instantly think of somebody else that would laugh about it, so you save it and then send it to somebody else, and it's just it's a way of it's a newer way of communicating. You talk through GIFs, memes, and emojis.
Right.
Lainey, you said you have a folder full of these.
Yep, I do. I have a literal, phone or a folder of like memes that I know will work in most situations I'm in, and so I just, instead of looking for them 15 million times, I just save them. Yep.
Wow, that's just me then, I guess. I mean, I read them, I look at them, but okay. So you've heard the list, what they have. Do you have one that wasn't on the list? Like for me, it would be, and I say this constantly, when I have to take, when I go to work, I take a bus to a train, and if that bus isn't there, you can miss the train. And I love getting there at the perfect time. So there's no way that I feel like the day is going to go good when I get there. Just, oh wow, I got there at the perfect time. So that's my little thing. Do you have a little thing?
Most of them have been on that list for me. But you mentioned sun earlier, and I will say that when I was younger, I'd go to the beach or go to a pool or whatever, and there was nothing like the smell, like the feeling of sun drying me in the after jumping out of a pool. I can't explain that. And also, here's my thing: blow drying your hair. There's something about
what's that like?
The heat against your head. I don't know, but I was just saying something like that, where you know what I mean. I don't know. There's something about heat drying things for whatever for me that's like pretty cool. Anyway,
that's cool. JP.
Oh, certain times of the years when you have all the windows in your house open and you decide to take a nap, and so you get the warm breeze that kind of comes in every once in a while in the mid-afternoon.
That's not bad at all. Those are some wonderful things, and everybody out there should be searching for those little things that make like happy. Oh, we have one. I like relaxing on a park bench near a ground deformity like a bump or a tree root and watch people trip over it. Hey, whatever makes you happy.
I've never heard. Ron would be the person to say ground deformity.
Yes.
That's another band name right there. Ground deformity.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good punk name.
I like it.
We're a ground deformity.
Yep.
Okay. So we hope you had a good time. This is one of the little things that you enjoy, is sitting back and listening to us and commenting on the show and getting involved, because we love doing this for you. Now, tomorrow, as Ron has already put up, tomorrow's a show with Ron and Kenny. The dream team is together. So I'm sure there's going to be a top 5 list that will be heavily debated by all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, on behalf of Lena, JP, and myself, I want to thank you for hanging out with us. Make it a wonderful day. And remember, if you need some fun, join us, because we have it going on daily. Bye, folks.
Mm-hmm.